It was Christmas Eve, and the city streets were filled with lights that shimmered like tiny stars. Snowflakes gently fell from the sky, covering the sidewalks and roofs in a soft white blanket. People walked hurriedly, carrying gifts and chatting with friends and family. Laughter and cheerful voices filled the air. But in one quiet corner, a young woman named Mia sat alone. Her coat was wrapped tightly around her, but it did little to warm her heart. Mia was deaf and had moved to the city only a few months ago for a new job. She knew very few people here, and she had no family nearby. She watched the happy families passing by, their faces bright with joy. Children pulled their parents toward decorated shops, pointing at ornaments and candy displays. The smell of baked bread and cinnamon floated from the bakeries, but Mia felt only loneliness. She rested her chin on her hands, feeling the cold metal of the railing against her palms. Her eyes followed a group of children building a small snowman on the corner. The snowman had a scarf and a carrot nose, and the children laughed as they shaped the snow. Mia smiled faintly at the scene but felt a deep ache in her chest. She wished someone would notice her, someone who would ask if she was okay. Inside a nearby coffee shop, warm light spilled through the windows. People sipped hot cocoa and shared stories, their breath forming little clouds of warmth in the chilly air. Mia could see them from outside but did not enter. She felt as if she did not belong anywhere. Her loneliness weighed on her like a heavy coat that could not be removed. She held her notebook and pen close, tools she used to communicate with strangers when she felt brave enough. Across the street, Daniel, a single dad, was pushing a stroller through the snowy sidewalk. His little daughter, Emma, was bundled up in a thick coat with a small hat covering her ears. Daniel noticed Mia sitting alone as he passed by. Something about her made him stop and think. He saw the sadness in her eyes and felt a tug in his heart. He adjusted the blanket around Emma and walked closer to Mia, wondering if she needed help. He knelt a few feet away, keeping a respectful distance. Mia looked up and noticed him. She held her notebook tightly, unsure if she wanted to be approached. Daniel smiled gently and began signing slowly. "Are you okay?" Mia's eyes widened in surprise. She had not expected anyone to try to communicate in sign language with her. She signed back carefully. "I am alone. Christmas is hard." Daniel nodded, understanding her message. He remembered the first Christmas after his wife had passed. It had been lonely too, and he knew how hard it could feel to be surrounded by joy but not have someone to share it with. He signed again, "Come home with us. You will not be alone." Mia stared at him, her lips trembling. She had never received such an invitation before. Her heart raced, unsure if she should trust this stranger. Emma peeked from the stroller, curious about the woman sitting on the railing. She waved shyly. Mia's heart softened at the sight of the little girl. Daniel gestured for her to come closer. Slowly, Mia rose from her seat and followed him across the snowy street. Each step made her feel a mix of nervousness and hope. She felt the cold air biting at her cheeks, but inside, a warmth was beginning to grow. As they walked, Daniel told her a little about Emma. He signed carefully so Mia could read his words. He explained that he was raising her alone and that they had small traditions they enjoyed every year. Mia smiled, understanding his gestures. She shared a little about herself, writing down a few sentences in her notebook to explain how she communicated. Daniel read them carefully, nodding and smiling, showing her that he was listening and caring. When they arrived at Daniel's apartment, the warmth inside hit Mia like a soft wave. The smell of cinnamon and pine filled the room. A small Christmas tree stood in the corner, decorated with ornaments and tiny glowing lights. Emma ran to the tree, pointing at the shiny balls and tinsel. Mia's eyes sparkled as she saw the cozy home filled with love and care. She felt welcome, even though she had just arrived. Daniel offered her a cup of hot cocoa. Mia held it carefully, feeling the warmth spread through her fingers. She sat down on the sofa, and Emma climbed onto Daniel's lap, waving at her. Mia smiled widely. She realized that she had not felt this kind of happiness in a long time. For the first time since moving to the city, She felt like someone noticed her, like she belonged somewhere. They spent time getting to know each other. Daniel showed Mia pictures of Emma when she was a baby, and Mia shared sketches she had drawn. Emma giggled at the drawings, pointing at her own picture in Mia's notebook. The apartment was filled with quiet laughter and the soft sound of Christmas music playing from a small speaker. Mia's loneliness began to disappear, replaced by a sense of belonging. Daniel noticed how gentle Mia was with Emma. She signed a few words to Emma, who repeated them back with curiosity and delight. He felt grateful that Mia had trusted him enough to come home with them. He watched as the little family formed naturally, even though it had only been a few hours. The warmth of human connection filled every corner of the room. As the evening grew darker, the city lights glimmered through the window. Mia helped Emma hang a few ornaments on the tree. She laughed silently at Emma's excitement. Daniel looked at them both and felt a sense of peace he had not known in years. This unexpected encounter had brought joy to all of them. Mia had found a place to belong, even for one night. By the fireplace, Mia sipped her cocoa while Emma sat beside her, leaning against her shoulder. The snow continued to fall outside, covering the streets in white. Mia thought about how different this Christmas was from her previous ones. Instead of being alone on a cold sidewalk, she was surrounded by warmth and kindness. Her heart felt lighter, and her spirit lifted. Daniel signed a few words to Mia, asking if she felt comfortable. She nodded and smiled, her eyes glistening with happiness. They shared simple gestures and written notes, communicating without words. Mia realized that even though she could not hear, she could feel the love and care around her. The true spirit of Christmas was not in the decorations or gifts, but in human connection. As the night deepened, Daniel, Mia, and Emma gathered near the Christmas tree. Mia helped place the last ornament, and Emma clapped her hands in delight. Daniel smiled at both of them, feeling grateful for the unexpected moment that had brought them together. Mia felt her heart swell with joy, knowing that she had found kindness and family in a city that had once felt so lonely. The night continued with laughter, stories, and the quiet happiness of being together. Mia realized that even in the loneliest moments, a single gesture could change everything. Daniel and Emma had shown her that she was not alone. For the first time, she felt hope and warmth filling her heart on a cold Christmas Eve. She knew that this night would remain in her memory forever. The next morning, sunlight streamed through the windows, lighting up the cozy apartment. Mia woke to the sound of soft tapping from Emma's tiny fingers on the table. The little girl smiled and signed a cheerful, "Good morning." Mia returned the sign with a warm smile, feeling a deep sense of belonging. For the first time in months, she felt at home in a place filled with kindness and care. Daniel prepared breakfast while Mia and Emma set the table. The smell of fresh pancakes and honey filled the air. Emma giggled as she poured syrup on her pancakes, making little drips on the plate. Mia laughed silently and helped clean up the mess. Daniel watched them, feeling a deep gratitude for this unexpected connection that had changed all their lives in such a short time. After breakfast, Daniel suggested they go for a walk in the snow. He bundled Emma in her coat and gloves, and Mia put on her scarf tightly. The streets were peaceful, with soft snow covering the sidewalks. The city seemed magical, and Mia felt a calm happiness she had never known. The cold wind nipped at their cheeks, but the warmth of companionship made every step feel light. They walked to a small park nearby, where children were building snowmen and throwing snowballs. Emma ran ahead, laughing as she made little snow angels. Mia watched her with joy, signing words of encouragement to her. The little girl's laughter filled Mia's heart with warmth. Daniel noticed how naturally Mia fit into their small family moment and felt grateful that she had chosen to come home with them. Mia shared stories about her childhood through her notebook. She wrote about the small town she had grown up in, the snowy winters, and the family traditions she missed. Daniel read her words carefully and signed back questions to learn more. Emma listened intently, her big eyes shining with curiosity. Mia realized that even without spoken words, they could connect deeply through gestures and writing. They stopped at a small ice skating rink in the park. Daniel helped Emma onto the skates while Mia watched with excitement. The little girl wobbled but held tightly onto Daniel's hands. Mia signed encouragement, and Daniel translated her gestures to Emma. Laughter filled the rink as Mia cheered the little girl on. For Mia, it was the first time she had experienced such joy and belonging in the city. As they returned home, they passed a street musician playing gentle piano music on a small keyboard. Mia's eyes lit up at the melody. She signed to Daniel, expressing how music made her feel even though she could not hear. Daniel smiled and nodded, understanding that the beauty of music could be felt through vibrations and emotions. He held Emma's hand, and they continued walking, enjoying the soft winter day together. Back in the apartment, Mia helped Daniel wrap a few small gifts for Emma. She chose carefully and decorated them with drawings and notes. Emma watched, fascinated, and helped where she could. Daniel admired how thoughtful Mia was, noticing how her creativity and kindness made everything more special. Mia felt proud to contribute and realized that even small acts of care could bring happiness to others. As the afternoon turned to evening, Daniel prepared a simple dinner. Mia set the table while Emma helped with napkins and utensils. The apartment was filled with the warm scent of roasted vegetables and bread. Mia noticed how naturally they all worked together, each contributing in small ways. It was a harmony she had never felt before, and it made her heart feel full. After dinner, they settled near the Christmas tree. Daniel brought out a photo album and showed Mia pictures of Emma growing up. Mia smiled at the memories, imagining how much love had gone into raising the little girl alone. Emma signed and pointed to the photos, telling stories with gestures that Mia understood. The room was filled with quiet happiness and the joy of sharing simple moments together. Daniel asked Mia about her hobbies, and she shared sketches she had made over the years. He admired her talent and encouraged her to show them to Emma. Mia carefully drew a little snow scene for the girl, who clapped and signed a delighted, "Thank you." Daniel smiled, seeing how much these small gestures meant to both of them. Mia felt a sense of purpose and connection she had never experienced before. Later, Mia helped Emma with a small craft project. They created paper snowflakes and hung them around the apartment. Daniel watched them, feeling grateful that Mia had joined their lives. The apartment now felt even brighter with the decorations and shared laughter. Mia realized that she had not only found kindness but also a place where her presence mattered and made a difference. As night approached, the three of them gathered near the fireplace. The warm glow reflected on their faces, and the room felt safe and peaceful. Daniel signed a few words to Mia, asking if she felt comfortable with them. She nodded and smiled, her eyes shining with gratitude. She had never imagined that she could feel so accepted and valued, and the simple act of being invited home had transformed her Christmas completely. Mia and Emma shared stories through gestures and drawings. Emma showed Mia how to make little folded paper stars, and Mia taught her a few signs in return. Daniel observed the exchange and felt a sense of calm happiness. The night had become a bridge connecting them in a way words alone could not achieve. Each gesture and sign carried meaning, love, and understanding. Before bedtime, Daniel read a small Christmas story aloud, signing to Mia so she could follow along. Mia watched intently, reading his expressions and gestures. Emma listened with wide eyes, occasionally signing excitedly to share her thoughts. Mia felt a deep sense of belonging and safety. She had never imagined that a stranger's invitation could lead to such warmth and connection. As the night grew deeper, the snowfall outside became heavier, covering the streets in a soft white blanket. Mia, Daniel, and Emma sat together, enjoying the quiet peace of the evening. Mia signed a simple message of thanks to Daniel, who responded with a gentle smile and a nod. She realized that even in moments of loneliness, human kindness could create miracles. Mia thought about the loneliness she had felt before meeting Daniel and Emma. She realized how much courage it took to accept help from a stranger. But she also understood that sometimes, the smallest gestures could lead to the greatest happiness. That night, she felt a sense of hope that she had not known in years. As Emma drifted off to sleep, Mia and Daniel tidied up the apartment. They shared quiet conversation through signs and gestures. The bond between them grew stronger with every small interaction. Mia understood that family could be found in unexpected places, and the warmth of acceptance could heal even the deepest loneliness. Finally, Mia sat by the window, looking out at the snow-covered city. The lights sparkled like tiny stars, and she felt a calm happiness in her heart. She thought about the gift of connection she had received and the joy of spending Christmas with people who cared. For the first time in a long while, she felt truly at peace. The next morning, sunlight spilled through the curtains, casting a soft golden glow across the room. Mia awoke to the sound of quiet tapping from Emma, who was already awake and excited to start the day. She smiled at the little girl and signed a cheerful, "Good morning," which Emma returned enthusiastically. The small apartment felt warm and alive, a sharp contrast to the loneliness Mia had felt just days ago. Daniel entered the kitchen, carrying a small tray with hot chocolate and freshly baked pastries. He set it on the table and smiled at the two girls. Mia watched as Emma eagerly reached for a pastry, laughing with delight. She realized how much joy could come from small, simple moments. The three of them shared breakfast together, chatting through gestures and signs, each enjoying the company of the others. After breakfast, Daniel suggested a walk to a nearby park where the trees were covered in sparkling snow. Mia bundled up warmly, and Emma grabbed her small scarf and mittens. The streets were peaceful and quiet, and the snow made everything feel magical. As they walked, Mia noticed how the city seemed different through the eyes of someone with hope. Even the cold air felt refreshing, carrying with it a sense of possibility and new beginnings. At the park, children ran and played, building snowmen and throwing snowballs. Emma ran ahead, laughing as she shaped a small snow angel. Mia watched her with a warm smile, signing encouragement to her. Daniel followed behind, keeping a careful eye on both girls. The three of them moved together like a small family, and Mia felt a deep sense of belonging that she had never experienced before in the city. They came across a small pond where the ice had formed a thin layer on the surface. Some children cautiously tested it with small skates. Daniel suggested that Emma try skating with his help. Mia watched as Daniel held her hands and guided her carefully. She signed encouraging words to Emma, who laughed and repeated the signs. The joy in her laughter lifted Mia's spirits even higher. After skating, they returned home as the sun began to set. The warm glow of the apartment welcomed them, and Mia felt her heart swell with happiness. Daniel started preparing dinner while Mia and Emma set the table and helped with small chores. Mia realized that even the simplest tasks could become meaningful when shared with others. She felt a sense of purpose and inclusion she had not known before. Once dinner was ready, the three of them gathered around the table. They shared a meal filled with laughter and simple conversations through writing and gestures. Mia enjoyed seeing how natural it was to communicate with Daniel and Emma. She realized that family was not just about being related by blood but about being present, caring, and connected to each other. After dinner, Mia and Emma decided to decorate the apartment for Christmas. They hung paper stars and garlands around the room, laughing and exchanging ideas. Daniel watched them, feeling a sense of calm and contentment. The apartment was transformed with their creativity, and it felt even more like home. Mia felt proud that her ideas and efforts had brought happiness to both of them. Later, they gathered near the Christmas tree. Daniel showed Mia a small box of ornaments he had collected over the years. Mia carefully placed each ornament on the branches, while Emma followed, trying to mimic her movements. The tree was soon filled with lights and decorations, casting a warm glow across the room. Mia realized that even small acts of creativity and care could create moments of joy and connection. As night fell, Daniel suggested they watch a small holiday movie together. Mia sat close to Emma on the sofa, signing reactions and thoughts to her. Emma responded with excitement, repeating Mia's signs and making up her own. Daniel joined them, smiling as he watched their interaction. The simple act of sharing an evening together strengthened the bond between them, creating memories that would last a lifetime. After the movie, Mia helped Emma get ready for bed. They brushed teeth and changed into pajamas, signing and laughing together. Mia felt a deep sense of happiness as she tucked the little girl into bed. Emma signed, "Thank you," and gave Mia a small hug. Mia held the moment in her heart, feeling the warmth of trust and connection that had grown so quickly between them. Once Emma was asleep, Mia and Daniel cleaned up the apartment. They shared quiet conversation through gestures, laughing softly at small jokes. Daniel signed to Mia about how grateful he was to have met her. Mia responded with a smile and a nod, feeling the truth of his words. She had never expected to find friendship, trust and family in such an unexpected way, and yet here she was, part of something meaningful. Mia spent some time by the window, watching the snow fall gently outside. The city was quiet, and the lights reflected on the fresh snow. She thought about how different her life had been just a few days ago. The sadness she had carried seemed lighter now. The small acts of kindness from Daniel and Emma had reminded her that even the loneliest moments could be transformed into joy and hope. She signed a message to Daniel, telling him how grateful she was for everything he had done. He responded with a gentle smile and a nod, signing back that she was part of their little family now. Mia felt a warmth in her heart, a certainty that she had never experienced before. She realized that kindness, care, and understanding could build bonds stronger than any words alone. Before going to bed, Mia and Daniel shared a small cup of cocoa by the fireplace. The soft glow of the fire reflected on their faces, making the room feel peaceful. They shared stories through gestures, recalling memories of past Christmases and childhood moments. Mia felt a connection to them that was deep and comforting. The apartment was more than a place to stay. It was a home filled with warmth and acceptance. As the night continued, Mia thought about the miracle of the evening. One small act of kindness had turned her loneliness into happiness. She understood that even strangers could change lives through compassion and care. For Mia, Christmas had become more than a holiday. It had become a reminder of the power of human connection. Finally, Mia prepared for bed, feeling a sense of peace she had not felt in a long time. She looked around the apartment, seeing Emma asleep and Daniel resting, and felt a deep gratitude. The events of the past few days had transformed her world, reminding her that hope and kindness could be found even in the most unexpected places. Mia lay in bed, feeling warmth in her heart. She reflected on the laughter, gestures, and stories they had shared. The snow continued to fall softly outside, covering the city in white. She knew that this Christmas would remain in her memory forever, not because of gifts or decorations, but because she had found connection, family, and love in the unlikeliest place. The morning light of Christmas Day filled the apartment with a golden glow. Mia woke to the sound of soft laughter and tapping from Emma. The little girl had already opened her eyes and was excitedly signing, "Good morning," to Mia. Mia smiled warmly and signed back, feeling a deep sense of belonging. She had never imagined a Christmas like this, filled with warmth, laughter, and kindness. Daniel entered the room with a small tray of breakfast. Hot cocoa steamed in mugs, and pancakes with honey and fruit were carefully arranged on plates. He smiled at Mia and Emma, feeling grateful for the joy surrounding him. Mia watched Emma eat, signing words of encouragement and sharing little smiles. The room was filled with quiet happiness, a sense of togetherness that warmed their hearts more than the food. After breakfast, Daniel suggested they take a walk to enjoy the bright winter day. Mia put on her coat, and Emma tugged at her scarf, eager to go outside. The city streets sparkled with snow, and children played in small groups on the sidewalks. The cold air was crisp, but the warmth of their companionship made the walk feel joyful. Mia held Daniel's hand as they walked, feeling comfort in his presence and safety in his care. They passed a small park where children were building snowmen and sliding down gentle hills. Emma ran ahead with a giggle, throwing soft snowballs and making little angels in the snow. Mia followed, laughing silently and signing encouragement. Daniel watched them, feeling a quiet happiness that had been missing for years. The bond forming between the three of them was natural, strong, and comforting. At the park, they met a group of children making a snow fort. Emma ran to join them, while Mia stayed nearby, watching and smiling. Daniel encouraged Mia to interact, and soon she was helping the children shape snow bricks for the fort. Mia felt joy in these simple acts of kindness, seeing how a little attention could make a child's day brighter. The snow around them sparkled, and laughter filled the air. After some time, they returned home to warm up. Mia helped Daniel hang a few small decorations in the living room, while Emma continued crafting little ornaments. The apartment became alive with color, light, and creativity. Daniel admired Mia's attention to detail and the care she put into each decoration. He realized that Mia had become more than a guest, she was a part of their small family now. Once the apartment was decorated, they gathered around the Christmas tree. Daniel brought out a small box of gifts, and Mia helped Emma open them one by one. The little girl's eyes sparkled with delight at every small present, and Mia's heart filled with happiness. She signed words of encouragement and joy to Emma, who responded with hugs and laughter. The warmth of the moment created memories that would last a lifetime. After gifts, Daniel suggested a quiet afternoon by the fireplace. Mia and Emma sat close, sharing small stories through signs and written notes. Daniel read aloud from a holiday book, signing along so Mia could follow. The room was peaceful, and Mia felt a deep sense of belonging. The quiet moments, full of understanding and care, made her realize how precious connection truly was. Later, Mia helped prepare a small Christmas meal. Daniel assisted her, and Emma joined by setting the table and arranging napkins. The apartment smelled of roasted vegetables and warm bread. Mia felt a sense of purpose in these tasks, knowing that her contribution made their day more special. Daniel noticed her careful attention and smiled, grateful for the joy she brought into their home. As evening approached, Mia, Daniel, and Emma gathered near the tree again. The lights reflected softly on their faces, and the room was filled with calm happiness. Daniel signed to Mia, asking if she felt comfortable staying with them for the holidays. Mia smiled widely, signing back that she felt more at home than she ever had. The bond between them had grown strong, built on trust, kindness, and shared moments. They spent the night sharing stories, laughter, and small games. Mia taught Emma a few simple signs, and the little girl repeated them eagerly. Daniel signed encouragement to both, creating a joyful conversation without words. The apartment was alive with warmth and connection, and Mia realized that this was the true spirit of Christmas: love, understanding, and shared happiness. Later, Mia helped tuck Emma into bed. The little girl hugged her tightly and signed, "Thank you," which made Mia's heart swell. She kissed Emma's forehead and whispered a gentle good night in her own way. Mia felt a deep sense of fulfillment, knowing that she had made a meaningful difference in Emma's day. Daniel watched silently, feeling grateful for Mia's presence and the bond forming between them. Once Emma was asleep, Mia and Daniel cleaned up the apartment. They shared quiet conversation, signing their thoughts and feelings. Daniel expressed his gratitude for Mia coming into their lives, and she smiled, feeling the truth in his words. She understood that family was not just about blood relations but about care, trust, and shared moments. The apartment was no longer just a space, it was a home filled with warmth and love. Mia sat by the window, looking out at the snow-covered city. The streets glimmered under the Christmas lights, and she felt a sense of peace in her heart. She thought about the loneliness she had felt before meeting Daniel and Emma. That sadness seemed to have melted away, replaced by hope and belonging. She realized that even strangers could change lives with simple acts of kindness. Before going to bed, Mia signed a note to Daniel, thanking him for everything. Daniel smiled and signed back, telling her that she was part of their family now. Mia felt warmth spread through her heart, a certainty she had never experienced before. The power of kindness, understanding, and compassion had transformed her life. She knew that this Christmas would stay in her memory forever. Mia lay down to sleep, thinking about the love she had found in the most unexpected place. She reflected on the laughter, the gestures, and the quiet moments shared with Daniel and Emma. Each sign, each hug, each shared smile had created a bond that words alone could never express. She felt safe, loved, and accepted. Outside, the snow continued to fall softly, covering the city in a peaceful blanket. Mia felt a deep calm in her heart. She knew that even when life felt lonely or uncertain, there was always hope, and kindness could come from unexpected places. That Christmas, she had discovered the true meaning of family and connection. Finally, Mia closed her eyes, feeling grateful for the miracle of the day. Daniel and Emma were sleeping nearby, and the apartment was filled with quiet warmth. She had learned that the greatest gifts were not material, but moments of care, understanding, and love. Mia drifted into sleep with a heart full of hope, knowing that she was never truly alone again.